Hello guys, welcome to today's video. I'm Lord Smith and I'll be taking you through a trade breakdown on XAUUSD using CRT and Malaysian support and resistance. So if you are new to my YouTube channel, do well to subscribe, hit the notification bell and stay updated. I'll be dropping videos like this here to show you the insight and the lessons I've learned trading this CRT and Malaysian support and resistance, right? So let's dive in. In my previous video, I spoke about CRT that are forming at V-shaped key levels and A-shaped key level. But in today's video, I'm going to be taking you through a CRT that is forming in a fair value gap, which is also a key level for us, right? So now guys, this is an example or a picture of what I'm going to be talking about today, a CRT forming in a fair value gap. So we all know what a fair value gap, right? A three candle analogy, usually the first and the third candles high, that is the gap between them, that is a fair value gap. And we also know what a CRT is. A CRT is also a three candle, or usually a three candle formation, usually the first candle high and the low. So we want market to take out either the candles high, then we look to trade to the low, or market taking out what, the candles low, which is the first candles low, and we look to trade to the upside. So usually I can also say a CRT is more like an AMD pattern, accumulation, manipulation, then distribution pattern, right? So usually the first candle is always what, the accumulation candle, then the second candle will manipulate, which is taking out either the high or the low of it, and we see the third candle distribution to the intent direction. So this is a CRT forming in a fair value gap, right? So in today's video, I'll be using this to show you how I was able to catch an XAU trade on Friday, which was last week, right? Thursday. So going to the daily time frame to frame my bias. So when you open your chart, I want you to always ask yourself these three questions, which is the directions, right? So you ask yourself, where is market coming from, and where is market at the moment, and where is market going? If you are able to understand where market is coming from, where market is at the moment, and where market will be going, then you have less problem or worries to worry about directions, right? Now what you want to worry after knowing your direction is how to enter the market. That's great. So in this XAU buys, you can see that market has been trending upwardly. We had a what, market taking out a external range liquidity here, the market was just going upwardly. Now after this, we saw market pushing down to rebalance inefficiency here, and I guess you already know the three market phases, right? Market move to seek liquidity, which are our all highs and all lows. So after market taking out an external range liquidity, it pulls back to mitigate what, or rebalance inefficiency, right? So that's the second phase of the market. Then again goes to seek out this external range liquidity. So here we could see very clearly that market pushed and took out this external range liquidity. Then we saw market pulling back to rebalance inefficiency before it continues to the upside or doing what it wants to do. So when I first opened my chart, I said, okay, then I need to find what I want to trade in the market after understanding that market is moving from one point to another. So I said to myself, okay, this was a fair value gap that I saw here. This was a fair value gap that I spotted here. And what do I want to see there? This is a fair value gap that I spotted here. And what do I want to see there? I want to see a CRT forming, which is this guy that I explained here. I want to see a CRT what, forming in the fair value gap, which was this guy. Now going back to the daily time frame, we saw that we had a CRT forming inside our fair value gap, which was this guy here. This was our fair value gap, and we had a CRT. So let me delete this. We have a CRT forming inside that our fair value gap, which was our key level, right? In my previous video, I've spoken about the other key level you can look to trade with, combining CRT and Malaysian support and resistance, right? So we can see very clearly that market was able to take out this previous candle high, tapping into our fair value gap, right? And also not taking out that candle low yet, right? So which we had a place we can trade into, which was this candle's low as our draw on liquidity. So market took out this previous candle high. What do you want to do when you go to the lower time frame? After framing this in a key level, then what you want to do on the lower time frame is to go and look for what? A breakout, right? Look for a breakout, which ICT people call change in state of delivery. The series of up close candles that were able to sweep into this, that were able to trade into this fair value gap, taking out this previous candle low, right? The series of up close candles, then you look for market to close below them, then you can what? Something like this. This is our high, and we see market sweeping into their fair value gap, right, and closing below the series of down close candles, which are these guys, and we can look to trade to the downwards, right? Sorry, don't mind my drawing here. So since I was able to identify this on the daily time frame, then I needed to go to 4 hour to look for a breakout, right? So on the 4 hour, we can see very clearly that yes, this was the high that we had, and this were the series of up close candles that were able to take out this high, tapping into our fair value gap, right? So now we want to see market closing below them, which is what we call the breakout in MSNR, right? This is a clear breakout that we had on the 4 hour time frame, confirming our daily bias. Let me delete this guy. Confirming our daily bias. Now when you have your breakout on the 4 hour time frame, you want to first mark your point of interest as where you can look to take the trade from. If you can take your trade from the higher time frame, which is the 4 hour, that's fine, but mostly I'll recommend going down to 2 hour or 1 hour, even 30 minutes to look for your confirmation entry after you had your 4 hour breakout, which confirms your direction. So this is what basically I'm talking about. When you have market doing something like this, then you have a breakout here. Usually you always have point of interest, which is this breakout as your first point of interest. You can be looking for market to come back, then you sell, right? Which is also a breaker block in SMC scenario. Now this is also our QM entry. You can be looking for market to come into, then you sell. And also the apex, which is the last point of interest, will be looking for market to come trade into, then we can be able to take a trade from these 3 key levels after you have a 4 breakout. But remember, the breaker block is always the first point of interest market will trade into, right? So we want to see our confirmations here before we sell. If we don't see any confirmation, we look for the QM entry. Remember, we are not taking any risk entry on the 4 hour time frame, but we just want to use the 4 hour to confirm our daily CRT. So since we saw this breakout here, so I wasn't on the chart to see this happening, right? It was later on that I came to see this second breakout, right, which wasn't clear here. This second breakout here, this guy, it wasn't clear on the 4 hour, but I dropped down to the 2 hour and then I saw that it was very clear, which is this guy here, right? So this is a 2 hour breakout that I had, so I needed to trade to the downwards to take out this my draw on liquidity, right? I needed to look for an entry in here and trade to the down side and meet my draw on liquidity, which was our previous day low. So going to my journal, let me show you the before and after of all these trades. So this was when I was filming my bias, right? And also on the 2 hour time frame, after I saw my breakout, then the entry I wanted to use. So in this case, I was using the engulfing entry, right? I wasn't using the breakout entry or the V-shape, so the A-shape key level. I was using the engulfing entry, and market came to tap me first. Market went, right, use this guy as my liquidity, right? So this single candle order block as liquidity, then came back to tap me in. Yes, and this was it exactly. So on the 2 hour time frame, just like I explained with the before and after, I was looking to take my trade from this engulfing candle, which was a disrespected open close key level, and we can see that here. This is a disrespected open close key level here. Now, and this guy being my liquidity, single candle liquidity, right? Then my entry was here, very clear. Then my stop loss was at this high. My stop loss was at that high, and my target at the daily CRT low, which is very important. Don't look to take your target at unrealistic places, right? Always look for the nearest drawn liquidity, then you can take, unless maybe you have a multiple CRT formation. But in this case, it was a single candle CRT formation. So you look to take your target there or your TP there which is very necessary. And we could see how market came and patched that daily low and started buying again. So if I was to be greedy, to be looking for this low, right, I would have been taken out by break even, or maybe I would have been taken out from a break even, or maybe a stop loss, right? But respect where you put your stop loss. Exit is very important, right? Not just entering, but exit is very important in this case, right? So you could saw that this was where I took my entry from the 2 hour engulfing candle after we had our breakout here to the downside, right? So this was how I was able to frame my buyers from the higher time frame down to my entering time frame using CRT and Malaysian support and resistance. So guys, I guess this video has been able to give you an insight about CRT and Malaysian support and resistance. So consider subscribing and turning on your notification bell. I'll be dropping videos like this here to help you understand more about this trading strategy and my insights about it, right? So stay blessed.